Hello and welcome to day 21 of Adventures in Tarot Casting. It's out of hand day, woo! That's my excitement. In just a few short hours, or if you're seeing this later after 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Out of Hand Tarot deck is funding on Kickstarter. Yay, it will be a 14-day campaign. I'm treating it like a pre-order, so if you want it, today is the day to back it there, and that way it can come to life. So I'm gonna focus a little bit on this casting board because this was made to go with Out of Hand Tarot. Just, you know, as you can see, the box image of the heart hands is here. So it just, sometimes these boards I create as a backdrop to go with the branding of the deck, and the graph paper with the sketchy lines and everything, that's got a very similar feel to Pocket of Peers. It was kind of like a school type of notebook. I don't know if you can see it from that far away, but I'll zoom in a little and you can see the graph paper look to it. So it looks like a page out of your notebook that you were maybe doodling in math class. I'm not speaking from experience, maybe I am. So it's the same, I use the same type of layout as my daily casting, what I've come to call that. And you know, that's where I have a space for an oracle card, and then the main card, and the tiles, and the Lenormand. It's just, I know we've gone over it before. It's a place where I'm very comfortable. You know, I'm very comfortable in this layout. So for the sake of Out of Hand Tarot and for today's launch, I'm going to just get to the reading because there's really not a lot to explain about it. All right. So the central card is the focus of the reading, right? Like if you've been with me this long, then you know that I use that as the central focus. Let me get a shuffle going on here. I don't know how to do the riffle shuffle. My hands are too small. So I do just a little corner edge shuffle, or sometimes side by side, and then sometimes overhand. It doesn't always look good on camera, but as long as the cards are shuffled, that's all that matters. All right, so let's start that over. That was just messy shuffling. It was not a jumper, unless it shows up and then it's a jumper, right? All right. Good morning, early bloopers. Alrighty, so we have the Page of Pentacles for today. And that is our central focus. And I chose to use that subject matter as somebody grabbing a book off of a library, you know, and the playfulness of the nail polish suggests that they are young at heart, you know, that they are pushing back on what is supposed to be kind of like the status quo of having very neutral tones and stuff like that. So this person, we don't know how old this person is, but they could be however old. They just like to get playful, and they're also in the pursuit of knowledge, in the pursuit of study, in the pursuit of continuing to observe the world. If you look close enough, there's a little Moonlit Faye bag here, and it's a Pocket of Peers bag, this is the clutch. It's the same type of clutch. And so our central focus today is this Page of Pentacles energy, this desire to continue to learn, this desire to learn how things work and observe the world around us in order to fully understand what makes it tick, right? So then I'm gonna bring in an oracle card. And you know, I like my nature's portals. And this card kind of gives like that overall energy for the reading. It might just offer up one keyword. It might continue to come in throughout the reading. You know, I never know how it's gonna be. We have a pig, and right off the bat, I see the pig, and that is kind of like a memory linked to my grandfather who has passed away. So it's kind of maybe this good blessing for today for a very abundant loss. You know, pigs can be a sign of money. Think about piggy banks and, you know, prosperity, and just pigs are a really good totem for today, but also a message from my grandfather that's going, you know, no matter what happens, just know that I always hear associated with him, our wants are many and our needs are few, and I could be as happy as a pig no matter how the outcome of the launch goes. So think about today how you can be happy no matter how your plans are going, right? And where is it that you feel abundant in life, you know, and especially in our observations. There goes my dog. He's on something. What's up, Barney? Stop. So I'm going to bring in the tarot tiles on the sides, and we're just going to build the reading before I get too deep into it. And I'm using the out-of-hand tarot tiles. So we have the Devil. And the Magician. And the Four of Wands. And the King of Cups. I love that, actually. I love all those cards. So the Devil showing up is kind of showing those things of like, when I see the Devil, I think about, have you ever danced with the Devil? Like, what is it that you allow to become all-consuming, you know? And then with the Four of Wands paired with that, it's like this idea of celebrating, this idea of community and connecting and just kind of sharing and getting together. So it's like, yeah, that can totally be addictive, right? But also in this deck, it's talking about the shadows, right? Like, what is it that we carry around with us? And it's those fears, the fears leading up to what it is that we're observing in the world. Perhaps this is what has brought us to take the books off the shelf, to understand that maybe we're celebrating in the wrong path, or not necessarily wrong, but in a path that isn't that good for us, you know? So we have to take a better look at it. And going forward, we have that Magician with the King of Cups, and you're going, okay, well, you've got the skills and you have the connection to your heart. You have that means of understanding and employing it with love and figuring out how to go at things with a very level playing field of emotions, right? So I'm going to add some tiles of Lenormand. And we have mice. There's my stalker again. When I was little, I had a pet mouse and it was so cute, but man, did it smell. Sun. Anchor. Lily. And cross. I feel like the cross is also a stalker. When you work with a Lenormand enough, and like, you know, since I've been doing these every single day, you're gonna get a few of the same stalker cards because it's like an underlying message, right? So since these are demonstrations, I'm trying not to read too into it, but maybe I need to take a little bit further look. But anyway, so let's do an overall run through. So we've got that Page of Pentacles, like taking the book off the shelf, observing, learning, studying, wanting to know how the world ticks. And then that overall energy of being like, yes, this is so good. This is, you're smart, you know, continuing to be in that line of wanting to expand your knowledge and wanting to understand how things work in order to put them into practical application. What brought us to here is probably a bunch of little holes in the system, right? Like little stresses, dealing with our shadows and dealing with the things that just kind of keep coming up against, you know, oh, the fears, but what if this, but what if that, but what if it does work? You know, stress and fear does not make it true. You know, you have to get into a space of being like, okay, if this is what's bothering me, and this is what's like proverbially raining on our parade, you know, like, because these two cards above this Four of Wands, I feel like, can I just be happy? Okay, well, let's figure out how to be happy. Let's figure out what is the real cause of the stress and fear, you know, so that we can move to a place of the Magician with the Knight, King of Cups, and then the Sun. It's like, this is coming away from the storm and into happiness, right? And the Magician is talking about You have all the tools at your disposal. You are witty enough and crafty enough and magical enough to trust that intuition and just know that you can take what is kind of magical and apply it in a practical manner, right? So like I see the King of Cups as like a therapist, somebody helping you work it out. So maybe you can do all you need to do by just reading a book, but there still needs to be some professional help on the horizon in order to get to this very vibrant life, sunny energy that you wish to have, right? And when you do that, and then you see where you've been anchored in something for so long that has become this trial, this burden that you don't even realize you're carrying it around at this point because it feels so solid. But you know what? You can lift up anchor at any time and you can revisit what you've read. You can always learn the next level. Just because somebody said something once in a book doesn't mean that it's still the same today, you know? And I think of that in a sense of, how do we do that in our own lives? I know that I will attach myself to people's words and just take it as law until something happens to debunk it for me or to make me question it and want more, you know? So how are we employing that Page of Pentacles energy of wanting more, desiring more to feed the curiosity, right? Because there's always going to be things that stress us out and that feed the fuel of the shadow of the fire, and you know, the devil showing up. And then, but we don't have to take it at, you know, we don't have to take it at face value. We can just examine it, and through examination and inquiry we can get to this space of being like, okay, that may be, but let's break it down to its basic roots. Like I feel like the magician does that, where they say, okay, here's this painting that I did. Like if you look at the tile, here's this painting that I did, and this is how I made it. You know, like here's the tools that I used, and this is why I did it. You know, so the magician, they'll share just enough of their secrets, but they're not going to share all of them, right? Because why would they rob you of the lesson to do it yourself and the lesson to be able to experience that? And I think that's where the King of Cups comes in, because you don't become somebody who is a leader in whatever field you're trying to do without doing the work and without doing the practical applications of things. And this is what makes you the shining authority, right? So that is the Out of Hand Tarot casting sticker board spread, and happy Out of Hand Day. I'm so excited for this deck. I do want to let you know that when we started the reading, this is just a personal message for me. The Devil in Pocket of Peers is my husband. The Magician in Pocket of Peers is my mother. The King of Cups in Pocket of Peers is my stepfather. And the Four of Wands in Out of Hand is a very dear friend. So seeing all these cards of just people who I love unconditionally show up that are linked to these people, I can't help but take that as a great sign for today. So if you're as excited about Out of Hand Tarot as I am, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, June 21st, which is today, the campaign goes live. It will be running until July 5th. And I am just so excited to bring this deck into the world. And I know that you're going to really love it, because the reason for these cards and these images are to really invite you into the scenery. You know, just pull this right off the top and just see, like, this Nine of Pentacles. When I was drawing this card, I wanted to channel what luxury feels like, you know, and this particular person, it's like they have some amazing tattoos, and really good tattoos are not inexpensive. They are not cheap. This person likes to lavish themselves with jewelry and the finer things that maybe they see in their life. And, you know, I have crystals with the mountain scenery in the background and the castle scenery in it, and just little nods to the original card. You know, this person's wearing a shirt that has the same patterning as the one in Rider-Waite-Smith, you know. So what are the ways, like when you work with this deck, you are invited into the cards, you're invited into the scenery, and being like, how is it that luxury, what does it look like for me? Maybe you're not into jewelry, maybe it's something else, but it still invites you in to ask, what is this for me? You know. So anyway, enough of my shameless plug, but I'm really excited about this. And if I expect you to be excited about it, I need to be excited about it, right? Because that literally is the definition of anything that we create. If you don't love it, why, you know, like if I don't love it, why would you love it? So I love it. I am so excited. And enough of my rambling. I will be here tomorrow with a new board and a new reading. And thank you again for being part of this series of Adventures in Tarot Casting. Have a great day. Bye.